What's going on, guys? I'm SimpleSimon, and today I'm going somewhere new. Super excited. Right now I'm here at Big City Comics out in Maribyrnong, waiting for Mark to show up so we can film an episode of The Noob. But after I leave here, I'm going to be heading out to Chapel Street. There is a pop-up market today at the Astor Theatre. At first I thought it was maybe just like a retro movie market, but I think it's all sorts of things. People just selling their stuff, from toys to physical media, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of retro movie stuff. But I'm always excited when there's new places to go, so I'm gonna head down there later and check out what's in store. For those who don't know what the Astor Theatre is, especially my overseas viewers, the Astor is like a really old cinema that mostly plays like older films. So I've only been there once in my life, which was last year. I did do a members only video where I went there with my friend Jake and we went and watched The Warriors on the big screen, and I'd never done anything like that. I'd never gone and rewatched an old movie, and I gotta say, it was such a great experience. The theater's really old inside, but it's huge, and the screen is massive. They even play like old retro trailers as well. So it was a really cool experience. So I'm excited to get out to the Astor and see what this pop-up market has to offer. Let's go.
Quick shout out to my Minions. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you're interested in exclusive members only videos, extended episodes of The Noob, and exclusive emojis, hit the join button to find out more about channel membership. But remember, your membership is not required. The best way to support the channel is by liking and commenting on videos.
Alright, so I just arrived at Chapel Street. I originally planned to get lunch before I went, but it's already a bit after 1 o'clock. The market started at 11, so normally I go to these things early, but obviously due to filming schedule, I'm here at about lunchtime. So I might actually go straight to the market because I don't know how much I'm going to spend. Is that Nathan? No, it's not. Anyway, we're going to go check out the place, and then afterwards we'll probably get something to eat. But yeah, I figured I may as well see how much money I'm going to spend at this market, if any, just to know how much I've got left for food. So
Alright, so the first thing I wanted to do was go get cash out. Sometimes at these kind of events, it's good to have cash. Cash is still king, just in case you didn't know. I didn't realize it was going to be a mile walk to the closest ATM, which was the supermarket. But anyway, after a long and sweaty walk, I ended up back at the Astor Theatre. There it is, on a beautiful day. And before, when I said, is that Nathan? No, it's not. It actually is Nathan from Code Collect and Conquer, or Collect and Conquer, whatever you want to call it. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the Astor Theatre, the ultimate hangout for film nerds. It was $5 entry, and once I got that sorted out, in I went, and I had no idea what to expect. I assumed it was going to be more movie-related things like VHS tapes and things. Speaking of VHS, there's CJ from Video Days, and then the first person I stopped to chat to was Bruce from Back Issue Comics. Now, I never get to plug Bruce because he doesn't have all the socials and things, so there it is, Back Issue Comics. If you're after anything, hit up Bruce from Back Issue Comics, he's probably got it. There's Jack from Jack's Timeless Treasures, in the corner, just walked past. And that dude there on the top left, that's Joel, an old buddy of mine from back in my band days. He used to be a singer in an awesome punk band called Charter 77. And oh my god, it's CJ, what do you got there? Don't tempt me, girl, what are you doing? So it was pretty much as I expected. There was a lot of VHS tapes there, which is cool. I like looking through VHS. In fact, I would have totally bought this awesome Batman video, but the cover was barely existent. It's all about that cover for me. But there was heaps and heaps of VHS tapes on sale, along with other physical media, DVDs, Blu-rays, but there was also toys, and as you saw earlier, comic books and things like that too. So it was a nice little mix. There's some old vintage toys there for you. So yeah, it was really right up my alley. This box here had a few classics, Conan the Barbarian. They also had a Bruce Lee VHS, but I've actually got the Bruce Lee VHS box set where the spines all line up to form an image. It's absolutely awesome. I did have a bit of a chat to this gentleman who had a shop called the Graveyard Tramp. He told me he watches some of my videos, and he had a bunch of cool stuff on his table. check that out. Breaking action figures. That's pretty cool. I actually had a good chat to this storeholder as well, just about some of the toys he had on his table. He had this cool Street Fighter statue, which I think he said came with the 25th anniversary edition. It also came with a black belt right there. You can just buy the Street Fighter Collector's Edition and become a black belt at street fighting. It's as easy as that. But yeah, this dude's table had heaps of cool toys on there, and we had a bit of a geek out. Check out this Unicron figure he's got. I don't even know when that's from. I've never seen that before. That looks cool. Now, you're going to get a lot of these shots here, panning across just an endless sea of VHS tapes, and not just any VHS tapes. They even had heaps and heaps of clamshells. That's the one you want. Clamshells. See those ones? I actually don't like clamshells, but they're more desired by collectors, it seems. And who remembers these Disney tapes? Man, I used to live off these when I was a kid. They were awesome, so that was a massive throwback. But let us know in the comments, even if you don't collect VHS tapes, if you were to have a VHS tape just for your collection, let us know what movie you would want in VHS form in your collection. Here's another classic, Krull. Oh my god, look at that. If you love the movie Krull, you should definitely leave a comment and let me know that you love the movie Krull. And then I went back to Bruce's table to get a better shot of some of the stuff he had. He always has trading cards as well as comic books, and he has a really great selection of comic books too. Oof. Who didn't have a crush on Natasha Henstridge back in the day? I watched that movie a lot when I was younger, and some scenes I watched extra a lot. So it was time to head upstairs. That's right, there were 2 levels of Astor pop-up market goodness. Hey, have you ever wanted to watch Revenge of the Sith on the big screen? Well, it's coming. Alright, so I went up to the next level, and look at that. Even more stuff to look at. This market was great. Bub, if you're watching, this was for you. See, I even think about you when I'm at these markets doing my vlogs. Just in case you were wondering why this was $650, because it was actually signed by Margot Robbie herself. This seller here had a great idea for a movie market to bring soundtracks. That's actually really smart. And then there's more VHS tapes here. Now, just so you guys know, the VHSs that I'm looking for my collection, I want to get Transformers, the animated movie, which I think is possible one day to get. And the other one is called Star Chaser, The Legend of Orin, which will be a very difficult movie to find, but hopefully one day. Hi, Nathan. This seller here had all these really cool old posters from, I don't know, what do you call that? Is it sexploitation films? I don't know, but they're all kind of from that era of films. He also had a whole bunch of VHS tapes, but he also had a whole bunch of really old tech on his table, like old cameras and things. Like, look at that TV. I remember watching things on TVs like that when I was really little. But yeah, he had all these really old school cameras and things, which apparently are pretty trendy these days. People love old cameras. Look at that. I also had a great chat with a gentleman, I forgot his name, but he actually has the store Gifts for the Geek in Geelong, which I have been to a few years back, and he had all these really cool vinyl, and he mostly brought, again, soundtracks. That's smart, and the horror movie soundtracks, he says, does really well, so we had a ton of those. But yeah, we had a great chat. If you're ever down in Geelong, go check out his store. It's comic books and records, and it's called Gifts for the Geek. So these guys here have a shop in Richmond. So if you guys are into physical media, apparently it's just a physical media I don't even know what to call it because I haven't seen it, but they had so many tapes at this event. In fact, I wonder if I actually went to this store, maybe they would have Star Chaser, The Legend of Orin. Maybe I'll have to go down to Richmond one day and check it out. Anyway, I thought I'd get some shots of the decor just to show you guys who haven't been before what it's like at the Astor Theatre. It really is a cool place to go. Alright, so I was done for the day, but do stick around to check out what I picked up from the event, and also if you like food porn, well, I'm going to give you a little bit of that. So as I walked back to the car, I was like, it's time to eat. I hadn't eaten all day, and the last thing I wanted was burgers. And the first thing I saw was burgers. So guess what we're having for lunch today? You guessed it, burgers. Now cue the food porn music. I'm not gonna lie, that was a pretty damn good burger. Shout out to Royal Stacks on Chapel Street. All right, I'm back. Fun day, fun event. So apparently at the Astor, they often have like film markets where I guess I was expecting a lot of physical media and VHS and all that sort of stuff today. But I guess what I was surprised with, well, I did know, they did say in the flyer that there was also toys, comic books, you know, a bit of everything. But apparently they regularly have like a film market there, which is very film focused. So I assume most of the people there were coming for movie related type things. Like if you're a film buff, Astor is definitely, you know, a go-to hangout, you know? Jack from Jack's Timeless Treasures, he wasn't very happy with the day. He packed up really early in the day while I was there, but look, the other vendors, it was kind of mixed. Some people were like, you know, it's been a bit slow, but it's been okay. And a lot of people just enjoy being there and, you know, chit-chatting with the community. So I had a good time and I did pick up some stuff. So I basically blew my budget as soon as I walked in the door. So I had already organized this yesterday before I came to the event. So I knew I was gonna potentially pick these up. And if you watched the video and concentrated, you probably know what I picked up. CJ, who owns Video Days, she does a lot of, I'm probably really sweating. You can probably really notice because of this new camera I'm using. CJ, who owns Video Days, she often posts new stock that comes into the shop. And I noticed yesterday that she had Alien and Aliens on Laserdisc. And I was like, ooh, I'm interested in, you know, getting some Laserdisc action. I don't have any Laserdiscs in my collection, but it's always something I've kind of wanted just to get like cool movies on Laserdisc. Like it's a cool format. I never had Laserdisc growing up. One of my best friends I grew up with when I was like probably from the age of 10 to 15 was like my bestie. His family had Laserdisc, so I do remember them, but I just never had one in my home. But yeah, I was like, I'm definitely interested in the Aliens. Like, I didn't know how much they were because I've never bought Laserdiscs. She said she could put them on hold for me, but I didn't know, she didn't tell me how much they were. So I got there today and I was like, how much are they? And then she told me, and she gave me a really good price because I did have a little bit of a squeeze on eBay, but eBay prices are a little bit sometimes. She gave me a really good price on both of them. So I did pick up Alien on Laserdisc. Oh dear, look at that. How good is, oh, look at the back. Oh, dude. How cool is that? I haven't even looked at these yet. They've just been, I just literally grabbed them, chucked them in my bag. Oh, cool, look at that. Space Chucky on the back. Oh, this is so cool. Very, very cool. It's got all the like chapters and you've actually got to turn the disc around. It's like a record, but you know, it's like a movie record. She also had Evil Dead 2, I think it was. And that's got a red disc, which is super cool. And that one goes for a lot of money. So look at that. Oh, that's super cool. Oh, it's even got images on the label, yeah, on the label on it. That's so cool. But yes, I got these for a really, really solid price. And this is Aliens and also the special edition of Aliens. And this one here is, look at this. Whoa! Gatefold, baby. Look at that. Oh man, that's sick. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Whew. These are sick. And again, I don't have a Laserdisc player. I don't really plan on getting one just so I can watch these discs. I mean, I've got a really nice OLED 4K TV. I'd rather just stream it in 4K or something like that. But these are just collectors, you know, items and display pieces for me. CJ suggested, you know, you can put them in like the vinyl display frames. So maybe I'll do that, but this is a gatefold. I don't want to do that. I'll probably just somehow manage to display it somewhere. Super, super cool that I got those two from her. And again, she definitely looked after me on the price. And not only did she look after me on the price, she threw something in for me. So yeah, big shout out to CJ. This was very kind of you. She said, you can't have the first 2 Alien movies without the 3rd one. And this was on the house. So yeah, more than thrilled. And yeah, very, very kind of CJ to throw in a freebie. I'm very happy with that. So Alien 3 is underrated. I didn't really like it that much back when I was younger, but when I rewatched all the Alien movies, you know, in the last couple of years, Alien 3, the story is actually really good for Alien 3. Alien Resurrection, on the other hand, I loved when it came out. I actually thought it was really good back in the day when I worked at Blockbuster still. Rewatching that, it was dog shit. It was so bad. But yeah, I've got 3 Laserdiscs now. And it's the Alien trilogy. So super stoked about those pickups. Also, I don't know when this video is going to come out. If you guys don't know, I sometimes will have a backlog of vlogs waiting to come out, and I kind of just release them as I feel. Obviously every Wednesday 9 p.m. is when I do my vlogs, but right now I've got a backlog of stuff. So by the time this video comes out, it's probably been like a month gone or something like that. But CJ has video dates. I did do another video which will probably come out before this video where I went to video dates for a second time. And the shop she's struggling because there's a lot of days she was saying that people don't, like not even a single customer will come in for a whole day. So I know a lot of people who saw my video like, oh, I'd like to check that place out. Now is the time to do so because it might not be there for that long. So who knows? I do always recommend follow Video Day Store, I think it's called, on Instagram, because she actually posts updates on when she's open. They're not open like Monday to Friday or 7 days a week or anything like that. It's usually just a few days a week, but do follow her on Instagram to stay up to date. If you do want to go in there, I'm highly recommend doing so soon. All right, before I show you the other thing I picked up, a few little shout outs to some flyers I picked up. So this is one of the stores, Picture Search Video and Vinyl. So this is a shop in Richmond for all the locals. I did get a shot of it in the video, but these guys actually have a rental store apparently still. So they had a whole bunch of VHS tapes on the table, but they were like, we actually have a rental store, but it's also like they sell a lot of stuff too. It's just like a physical media hoarding ground is what she kind of sounded like it was. But if you guys are interested in checking that out, that's all the details there. All right, I did buy 1 VHS tape. Now I saw it, and what I did first was I was like, it was 15 bucks. So I was like, let's go down. I went back downstairs before I bought it to ask CJ, hey, do you have this? And she didn't. I knew if she did have it, it would have been 10 bucks. But it's fine, 15 bucks is still cheap, I think, for a tape, whatever. But this is one of my favorite movies, and I did buy Requiem for a Dream on VHS the first time I visited Video Days. This was from the cellar upstairs that had all the old school cameras and everything like that. This is one of my other favorite movies of all time. Now, every time I tell people this, they get all weirded out, but it's American History X with Edward Norton. That's Sarah calling me, give me a second.
What did you buy?
I bought some Laserdiscs and a VHS tape.
Laserdiscs?
Yeah, they're super cool.
What fucking Laserdiscs did you buy?
I bought Alien and Aliens.
Laserdisc as in like...
Yeah.
As in what?
A Laserdisc. Now we need to buy a Laserdisc player. No, we don't. But I just bought them as collector's pieces. They're cool.
What the fuck is a Laserdisc?
Oh my God, what the fuck is a Laserdisc? I'll see you when you get back.
Bye.
Bye, ma. That was Sarah. All right, where was I? So yes, American History X is one of my favorite films. Now, people often ask me, right? Well, not people don't often ask me, but people have asked me. You know, they think that my favorite movies of all time are things like The Warriors or Aliens, because, you know, I collect those 2 franchises so heavily, right? Like, I love The Warriors, I love Aliens. But when it comes to my favorite films of all time, they're not even, I mean, they might be in the top 50, you know, like I collect Warriors and I collect Aliens because I just think they're really awesome movies. Like they're cool films, right? When it comes to my favorite films, if you ask me what my favorite films are of all time, I prefer movies that make you think, right? Like I prefer movies that I can recommend to most people. Like not everyone's gonna be into a bunch of, you know, futuristic soldiers who want to shoot up aliens. Not everyone's gonna be into gangs of in New York City and things like that, right? So, like my favorite films, like I mentioned, Requiem for a Dream is one of them, which is a dark film about addiction. American History X, which is about, you know, Nazi skinheads, right? And you know, I really like I would put Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind in there, which is like I can't even explain what that movie's about. But yeah, my favorite films if I had to rank my top 5 favorite films, they're more arty type films, to be honest. I love $1 Million Baby, which is the Clint Eastwood film with the Hilary Swank, which is a boxing film, but it's a bit deeper than a boxing film, you know? So yeah, they're some of my favorite films, just so you know. All the cool stuff that are like, you know, like Aliens and The Warriors and whatever else it be, I love those movies, but I wouldn't rank them in my best movie list because, again, I just don't think they're necessary for everyone. Anyway, I picked up American History X. I rewatched this just a couple of years ago and it's still fantastic. If you haven't seen it, you know, it has definitely some controversial topics, but overall it's just a fantastic film. And that's it. I also bumped into, right next to CJ, was a table from a dude called Joel. I actually know Joel from many years ago, back when I was in my band. He used to sing in a band called Charter 77, who were like legendary. Like when my band first started, Charter 77 were like the shit. So like we used to play gigs with them all the time. I didn't know, but Joel has actually moved over to Tasmania since, and he just was down for the week. And he still has some stuff at his, at his mum's house, he was saying, so he just thought he'd try to sell it off at the store. So it was great to see Joel there as well. And a bunch of familiar faces, a bunch of sellers that I know from other events, as well as a couple of mates. I bumped into a few good friends, ex-work friends and things like that. I had a really fun day. So hopefully this video was okay and you enjoyed it. Again, if you want to visit Video Days, I'll leave all the information in the description below. I'll leave as much info in the description below as possible. If you want to go to the Astor Theatre, because you've never been there, I'll leave all the details for the Astor as well. But overall, this was a great day and I'm really super stoked with what I picked up. So if you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, give this video a like, leave a comment if you wish, and of course, subscribe if you're new. And until next time, I'm SimpleSimon, tell your friends, and keep it simple.